Hi everyone, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name's Casey Arena and I am here on behalf of LuckyVitamin. I am a LuckyVitamin ambassador and I'm really excited to be here. They've asked me to collaborate on a Chia Jam recipe. So chia seeds are one of my favorite things and we'll get into that. We'll get into why they're one of my favorite things. I'll wait a few seconds so you guys can kind of start to trickle into the live chat. I know it's not like an instant thing you guys see. So I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself while I wait for some people to join us. If you are joining the chat, please say hi. I would love for this to be interactive and definitely a fun time. Like I said, my name is Casey Arena for those that are just joining. Thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So I see there's some eyes starting to pop in. If you want to say hi, please feel free. I like to talk. So this lighting obviously is going to be really good too. I've got a nice big spotlight. It's the best way you can get lighting at 8 o'clock in the East Coast. So tonight we're going to be making some Chia Jam recipes. Hi Dawn, thank you for joining. If you guys have any questions during this whole process, please let me know. This is going to be kind of like a quick and simple video on how you guys can incorporate some chia seeds into your school lunches, into your everyday eats. Very simple things that I do. For those that are just joining, my name's Casey Arena. Some of the eyes are starting to pop in. This is awesome. If anyone knows of me maybe, please make sure you say hi. If you don't, please introduce yourself. You can find me at PowerCakes. One word, a long time ago, started this blog called PowerCakes. Basically, it's protein pancake recipe that my mom created when we were kids. She's a personal trainer as well am I, so she created that. That became a nickname, and now it's my blog and what I do for a part of my living. A little bit more about me. I'm also a personal trainer, like I said. I am a strength and conditioning coach. I coach soccer athletes right now, but I also coach all different kind of sports, all different kind of clients, different goals and whatnot, and I love what I do online as well as blogging and doing recipes and things like that. So these are two of my favorite recipes. I will go through them. They're really, really simple. You could literally jot them down. They don't have any more than 4 ingredients for one and 3 for the other. So one of the things I get to do, and I'm really excited to be here, biceps like that. Thanks, Paige. Maybe that can be a new little nickname we come up with. I don't know, a little hashtag. Chia seeds make your biceps bigger. So that's number 1. 2, just kidding, don't take my word for that. But they do really help with a ton of different things like anti-inflammatory, ton of stuff. We're going to go over that. So what I want to start with is, first of all, I see you. My husband joined, just in case anyone was curious. So first of all, I just wanted to go over, I'm a LuckyVitamin ambassador. We hooked up today to bring to you a recipe using their chia seeds. So if you know of chia seeds, use them, give them a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up if you use chia seeds. A lot of people use these now. Years ago, when I started blogging, really a lot of people didn't really know what chia seeds were, nor did we really know what to do with them. So I started getting creative in the recipe department, using chia seeds years ago to make one of my first recipes called Chia Jam, which you now probably see everywhere. Back then, I really thought I originated it. I don't think I did, but I was like amazed that I figured out how to use these things. So chia seeds, LuckyVitamin has their own brand, Lucky Roots. You can find them on their website under the Lucky Brands tab, LuckyVitamin brand tab. So you can find them on there. Really competitively priced too, guys. These are $4.99 currently on the website for a small, 8-ounce bag, which is really good pricing. I know that these can be kind of pricey, and that's a really great price. So what we're gonna do today is use chia seeds in 2 of my favorite recipes. One, Chia Jam, literally takes not even 2 minutes to make, and the other one, banana chocolate pudding. So we're gonna make both. One of the things I get to do as part of being a personal trainer and kind of working in the online world as well, I get to travel and I get to help students and young women and young men learn how to fuel their bodies. It's something I'm super passionate about. As someone who has struggled with eating disorders in the past, fueling your body is something I'm super passionate about, especially for the young generation to learn that it's important to fuel, especially if you're active, especially if you're not just an athlete, but just active in general. Really good to fuel our bodies. So what I do is I use chia seeds and make chia jam for a lot of my high schools that I go to, and it's a recipe that they really find that they like because chia seeds don't have any flavor. So something a little bit about chia seeds, and then we'll get to the recipes. Chia seeds are loaded with omega-3s, and that's something that's definitely our body definitely needs. These are the healthy fats. They're a plant-based omega-3, obviously, and they're an anti-inflammatory. They're also loaded with fiber, so I like to tell people that chia seeds can kind of like cleanse, not, I want to say cleanse, but kind of like scrub your colon, you know, like totally normal to talk about colon. So they can kind of scrub your insides and kind of just help get rid of some things that is kind of maybe building up in your body. Really good for that. And then also, they are loaded with protein. So for 3 tablespoons, you get 6 grams of protein. So that helps with the biceps, like Paige said. So that, you know, it kind of all goes together. So they are also, the Lucky Roots brand is also non-GMO. And these are making sure, so these are gluten-free and kosher, literally just little seeds. So if you've never seen them before, which I'm sure you have, little seeds just like that, they are killer if you spill these in your kitchen. Don't do that. Make sure you're paying attention to when you're holding these, because if they go everywhere, they are not fun to clean up. And if you've done it before, you feel me on that one. So what we're gonna do is start with Chia Jam. Very simple. How you can do this. This is also really good for back to school recipe. Something that a lot of my parents of my athletes ask about a lot is ways they can kind of sneak food into their athlete or into their child's, you know, body and system. Because a lot of times if you show someone, don't spill in the kitchen. Girlfriend, don't do it. This is not fun to clean up. So a lot of times the parents are asking things they can do, again, to hide things. That's what my mom would do in our pancakes. That's why they were called PowerCakes years ago. So you hide the chia seeds, and one of the best ways to do it is in jam. So kids love jam. I love jam. Maybe I'm just a big kid. I love jam. I like grape. I like strawberry. You could literally, I've done this with so many different kind of fruits and whatnot. So we've got grapes, strawberry. I've done it with apples before, so you kind of maybe cook the apples down and then you blend it with the chia, so you can make your own applesauce. You can add cinnamon to that. Really delicious. You can also, blueberries, berries, anything, honestly. Make pumpkin chia jam if you want it, or maybe that would be more of a pudding. Literally, chia seeds can blend with anything. So what I did here, so simple. You just take about 2 cups of whatever fruit you are using. Today I've got grapes because it's still summer. I'm holding on to summer. My 7-year-old thinks that it's a really great idea and wants me. I love your 7-year-old, Paige. You can definitely make this. I have to say that when I go to the high schools and we do this and we demo it for the kids and everything and they taste it, I've done this at an elementary school as well. They seriously go home and make it, and I love it because they'll post about it or they'll tag it on social media. And it's really cool to see them get in the kitchen. Something that's really simple to make, really good for younger kids, and like I said, the older kids like us that just like jam and jelly. So we've got grapes tonight. Those are my summer favorite, you know, one of the few, or just holding on to summer before all the pumpkin starts coming. So got the grapes in here. About 2 cups of fruit usually, so if it's any other thing, I just chop it up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna blend with the chia seeds. So it kind of breaks the chia down a little bit. And another thing, it's about, I'm really good at measuring if you can't tell. So it's about 2 tablespoons, well no, 3 tablespoons to 4 for about 2 cups of fruit. So it's about a 1/4 cup of chia seeds. Now, one other thing too about chia seeds, and you might be wondering, well, why is she blending these with fruit? So something that chia seeds do are they absorb about 10 times their size with liquid. So if you put them in water, and that's something I also was going to talk about, was you could throw these in water as a way to get your omegas, get your fiber, get your protein, and just drink it. I mean, it's really simple if you can just drink it down. So what they do is they absorb 10 times their weight or their size in liquid. So putting them, a little kind of like gel shell will go around the chia seed, and that's why they blend really well with fruit or things like that, because they are absorbing the liquid, and then it makes things thicker. So this can also be, chia seeds can be an egg replacer. You can use it to thicken smoothies, and that's kind of my little list at the end I was gonna go over as to what you can use them with. So I'm jumping ahead of myself, but for now, so you add the chia seeds to the grapes. Grapes are great too because they are filled with like water. Most of the grape is going to be water, so it's going to blend really well with the chia seeds. Now, if you like just the flavor of the grapes and you're not a big sweet person, this is totally preference, but I tend to add a little bit of liquid stevia to the actual mixture. So it can be with berries, especially if you have kids and they're used to that sweetness with their jam and jelly and whatnot. I just take a couple dashes of like, I just use an organic stevia. I have good taste buds for it. And the kind I have here is really not bitter at all. I know on Lucky's website, LuckyVitamin, you can definitely find organic or any kind of liquid stevia. Really, really good. So I just put my little lid on, and then I'm gonna blend this up. So I'm gonna kind of tote you guys. This is very like, you know, you're with me in my kitchen currently. So just gonna blend this up. I have a little Vitamix guy here. Whoop. All right, it's gonna get loud for a second, so bear with me. Okay, that was literally 5 seconds. So you take the, oops, now I'm gonna turn you back. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so it's blended. It's actually a really pretty color, really purpley. And then what I'm gonna do is you always wanna let it sit. So you wanna let it sit for about 2 minutes or so. You'll see that it's gonna just start to thicken up. A lot of people make this and they're like, okay, it's not jam right away. It's kind of liquidy. Telling you, let the chia seeds do their work. Let them do their work. I'm gonna get a bowl and we're gonna pour this into a bowl, and then I will show you how it gets nice and thick. Now, if you make this, and it's still, cause it's kind of looking a smoothie right now, but if you make this and you can tell that it's not thickening up, all you have to do is add more chia seeds, honestly, because you're only gonna end up using about, you know, 2 to 3 to 4 tablespoons of the stuff. You can't see it, I'm like, oh, look. So I'm gonna let that try to thicken up. If it doesn't get thick enough, it kind of depends on what kind of fruit you're using too. If it's a little more watery of a fruit, it's gonna be maybe a little more chia seeds, and that's kind of where you just play around. So if you think that it needs a little more, give it a couple minutes. You can already tell right now that it's definitely, this lighting though, it doesn't look that great, but it tastes really good. So it'll start to thicken. We're gonna check back in with this guy, but like I said, you can do this with berries. We do it a lot with mixed berries when we go to the high schools and we do this presentation. This is so cool. I had no idea this was a thing. Make sure to post on the blog so I can put it. I can definitely post this on my blog. It's also on, it is already on my blog at PowerCakes.net. I think there's like a Chia Jam link, to be honest, because like I said, when I first ever made this recipe, I literally thought I was the only one that like knew how to make it. And then I realized I was probably very late to the party of Chia Jam. But there is a whole link I've made orange marmalade before. You just do orange, chia seeds, and a little bit of, you know, liquid stevia. For me, I like the sweetness. If you don't, it's all good. So as we keep talking, so I'm real good at keeping to talk, you can literally, you probably can't hear it, but it's literally, it's like bubbling. The chia seeds are doing the work. That's really good. All right, so we'll check back in with that. I'm gonna add a little more chia to mine because I'd like it to be a little bit thicker. It is literally looking like a little beast right now. It's like speaking to me. Okay, so we'll let that go. Now, things that I do with my Chia Jam. Okay, so things that you do once it's nice and thick. This will last in your fridge, guys, for a decent amount of time. It's gonna last in your fridge. I put it in like one of these glass, you know, containers with a lid. We just got married, so we've got lots of these, which is awesome. But you can put it, you know, in any airtight container. Leave it in the fridge. We've left it for a good, I mean, we usually finish it by then, but like a week, week and a half, and it's been totally fine. You know, I'm not 100% sure how long that would last, but about a week and a half, and we were fine. And what we'll do is we'll make a big batch of it on a Sunday, and then we have it throughout the whole week. So it's a really good way to meal prep and get things, you know, prep for the week. For your kids, here's where I like to use this, okay? So on toast, obviously, anywhere you use jelly or jam, toast, on a wrap, one of my favorite things that I honestly ate in high school every day for lunch, and I was a soccer player and a track athlete, so I really tried to fuel up at lunch. One of my favorite things was a wrap. I would just get like a whole wheat wrap or whatever. If you're gluten-free, a gluten-free wrap. I would put a banana and peanut butter and like Chia Jam on there, and then I would just roll it up or just, you know, roll it up in a wrap and some foil, and that was my lunch. So that's something that appeals to kids a lot, is like the PB&J banana wrap. But this can also be on toast, on sandwiches, on jelly, yeah. Put the jelly on jelly. Good, Casey. So I can't have my own cooking show because I literally sometimes don't make sense. So put it on yogurt. That's what I was gonna say. Put it on yogurt. So put it on yogurt. You can literally, anywhere you put jelly, put that. You can literally eat off the spoon as well. So maybe I should taste it. so we make sure it tastes good. It's really thickening up now, guys, you'll see. And the more it sits, oh, that's really good. I wish you could taste it through the screen. The more it sits, the more it's gonna thicken up. So you can either do what I did where you blend it all together, kind of breaks down the chia a little bit, or just blend the fruit separately, blend the chia, or not blend the chia, blend the fruit and then add the chia seeds to it after. That also works. So either way is gonna work. Now, that is recipe number 1, super simple, and it's a really good way, like I said, for your kids for back to school to hide things, like hiding the chia that's really good for them, hide it in their food. So it's pretty awesome. All right, recipe number 2, 2 of 2, is my banana chocolate pudding with chia seeds. So like I said, chia seeds are a thickener, and what they'll do is they'll thicken most of the things that you're putting them in. So this is so simple. I have a, okay, this looks like it's a really old banana, but it's just because it was getting old and I like it to be a little bit ripe for this recipe. And then I put it in the fridge, so obviously it turned really brown, but feel free to use whatever kind of banana that your heart desires. So I got my banana, and then all you do, this is how you work your arms out. So you smush the banana as part of your workout for the day. Sorry, it's kind of loud. So literally all you do, and that's why a ripe banana is really gonna work for this, because you are able to, it's kind of like the sugars are pretty much already there, so it's really breaking down the banana pretty good already. So you mash your banana into the cup. And this is for all my chocolate lovers out there. I mean, if you're not a chocolate lover, we can still totally be friends, but I definitely am a chocolate human. So you can use whatever kind of cocoa you want. I love dark cocoa, so it's just simple Hershey's cocoa. I'm pretty sure you can definitely find some cocoa on LuckyVitamin.com, but all you do is you just take a tablespoon, well, that's a little more than a tablespoon, but a good spoonful, depending on how much you like your cocoa. It's late, it's 8 something, and you want some chocolate at night? This is perfect. So you just put your cocoa powder in there, and then you kind of work it a little bit, because you don't, this is another thing you don't want to get all over your floor. So work it into the banana, and then what you're gonna do is take a couple dashes of almond milk. So I've just got some unsweetened almond milk here. And you take, it's kind of gonna be a little bit of a preference, so you're gonna take about, that's about a 1/4 cup. So all you've got so far is the banana, the spoonful of cocoa, some almond milk, and you're gonna take a tablespoon of chia seeds. Like I said, I'm really good at measuring, if you can't tell. Okay, that's about a tablespoon, right? And then, woo, I'm splashing. I'm literally, I love to cook and bake, but my whole family and husband will tell you that I'm not the neatest chef in the kitchen, but I do make some good stuff. I get it done, you know? All right, so we're blending, we're mixing, literally, okay, that was like a minute if you add in my talking or minus my talking, not even a minute. So you blend it all together, and again, this is something you could blend in the blender, so if you wanted to blend it and make it really smooth, you could. You could just put it with the banana, the cocoa, the chia, and some almond milk, and if you don't mind it a little, I don't really want to use the word lumpy, but if you don't mind some banana chunks, no matter what word I use is not that appealing, but you can just do what I did and mix it together. So literally looks like not the best in the world, but it tastes so good. Now if you want it a little bit sweeter, because that dark cocoa is going to kind of give it some bitterness, add a couple hits of liquid stevia, which is basically my best friend, and then you just mix it all together. And seriously guys, let it sit for like 2 minutes, and that's gonna thicken up. Now, so before I jump ahead, that is recipe number 2. Very simple, chocolate banana chia pudding. It's literally delicious. You can have this, you can make it in the morning and have it already ready for yourself at night. Keep it in the fridge. The longer this stuff sits, the thicker it's gonna get. So as I say that, you can literally see the Chia Jam is like seriously not even falling off the spoon. I am gonna add a little more chia seeds to this, and you can tell as you go. If it's really not thickening right away, just keep adding a little more chia. Like I said, you're not eating this whole thing. You wouldn't want to, because your belly would be like really cleaned out if that's what you're going for, but I don't really recommend doing that. I say we should just, you know, have a normal serving size. So you're just gonna mix it up, make sure, and the longer this sits, the better. So I would even make this the day before you think you're going to want it. But like I said, really good ways to make things the day ahead. These are all meal prep ideas and great for back to school right now. I know a lot of my girls that I train are going back to school, and these are recipes I give them. They're so easy. They can make it themselves. This one doesn't even involve any kind of electronic at all. This is just, you know, my hand and a spoon and a cup, and then you let it sit and let it get thick. And if you want more than 1 tablespoon in the pudding, put a little more than 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in to get it that desired thickness that you want. And these are really good ways to hide really good stuff for your kids. So what other things you can do with chia seeds, before I let you go after these lovely 2 recipes that I gave you, with the Chia Jam, another thing we do, and this is how we serve it when I do events and things like that, are on rice cakes. So we actually use rice cakes. It goes really well together, like depending on what your flavor that you choose. On rice cakes is a really, really good snack idea with some peanut butter or some nut butter on rice cakes. But also, like I said, anywhere you put jelly or jam, that's where you're gonna wanna put your Chia Jam. It's so simple and easy to do. Other ideas for chia seeds would be in smoothies. So like I said, they're gonna thicken up whatever you have. A big idea that I give to a lot of my athletes and my clients are to make a smoothie the night before. So if you don't have time in the morning or you don't, especially for my high school kids, they really don't eat breakfast. And that's something that, especially if they're, you know, playing a game that day or they have practice, really good idea to get something in their belly in the morning until they have lunch like way later in the day. So I gave one of my girls last week the idea to make a smoothie the night before, leave it in the fridge, and then literally take it with you out the door in the morning and it's already done. And that's a really good place to put your chia seeds in. Another idea would be to freeze a smoothie. So ideas for lunches would be make a smoothie or make smoothies, multiple, you know, and put them in a container that would work, and then just take it out of the freezer and put it in your lunchbox. So literally I have like my little lunchbox because I'm still a kid and I travel a lot to train people. So I put things in here that are already frozen. Another thing we would do as kids, my mom would always freeze yogurt. So it's kind of, and then put the yogurt in our lunchbox, and it would kind of be like the ice pack. But it's also the same thing with smoothies. You can make smoothies ahead of time, guys, and then put them in as your ice pack. So it's a really good idea if you're trying to get your kids to get a little more fruit, or like pudding. You can always kind of use, if they're not listening, like keywords like pudding and things like that, where they don't really think that it's, you know, that good for them, but it actually in the end really is, especially this chocolate pudding, which I definitely want to dig into soon. But yeah, so and then the other thing we can do with chia seeds is put them in your water, like I said earlier. An egg replacer, I'm pretty sure it's like 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to warm water, about a 1/4 cup of warm water, and then you let it soak. And then I would, you know, recommend looking that up online, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I've used it before. I've also done that with flax, and I know that LuckyVitamin has their brand for both of those. So chia seeds, great egg replacers. Also in dressing, I've seen it in dressing to thicken dressing. So if you make a homemade dressing, we have one in our family that's just, it's just oil, vinegar, Dijon mustard, a little bit of stevia, and some, if you put some chia seeds in it, it'll thicken it, give that nice thick dressing. So that's a good idea. And then in your baked goods, so you can always add like 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to your baked goods. So that's a really good idea as well, to get in those omega-3s, to get in those fats, to get in that protein. And like I said, this pack's about 6 grams per 3 tablespoons. So that's a nice little hit of little muscle builder for you. So chia seeds, literally staple in my pantry always. I'm always thinking of ideas, but I have to tell you that I always come back to the same 2 recipes, and it's my chia jam that we make and we keep it throughout the week, and then my chocolate pudding, because who doesn't love chocolate? And if it's really good for you, that's even an added bonus, right? So like I said, try these 2 out. So simple. They might not look the prettiest, but they're really pretty for you, if that makes any sense at all. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Again, my name's Casey Arena. You can find me at PowerCakes, and I'm on Instagram, on my blog, PowerCakes.net. Some of these recipes are already on there. I have a lot of chia recipes. Like I said, when they first came out and they were all of a sudden becoming very popular, I was all over it and trying to figure out ways I could use it. So Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the thumbs up and the hearts. You guys rock. And thank you, LuckyVitamin. I'm really pumped that I was able to do this and collaborate on such a little fun Thursday night. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, let me know. But you can also check out LuckyVitamin.com, and that's where you'll find all their Lucky brand. These are the Lucky Roots and Lucky Eats, different of their own brands now, which is really awesome and very, very competitively priced. So check it out, and I will see you guys soon. See if I can stop this. Oh, there we go.